What's going on, guys? Static Line Outdoors here, First Response Fieldcraft, and today gonna go over this BCM Recce 16 long-term review. So you guys kept friggin' annoying me about making videos about ARs. They just don't really fucking interest me that much. That being said, go over this rifle quick. I've had it for a long time. Used it as a patrol rifle for 6 years. A little background on me. I'm an AR-15 armorer. I'm a police patrol rifle instructor. I was an airborne infantryman in the Army, so I have a lot of time on ARs. This rifle, like I said, was a work gun for me. Took a lot of training classes with it, and I put a lot of rounds through it. Total, I think it's probably hovering around somewhere around 12,000, 10 or 12,000, give or take. Good chunk of that's simunition, doing force-on-force stuff, and also a decent amount of defensive ammo as well. I'll start by giving you a brief overview of the gun, and then kind of getting into how it's been for me and how it's set up. So this is the Recce 16 by Bravo Company, as I already said. So it's got a 16-inch barrel and a Bravo Company's comp on here. I'll go from end to end. So starting, it's a Bravo Company Mod Zero comp. It's really good. Throws a fireball though, has a lot of flash, not ideal at night or under nods, but honestly it hasn't affected anything. I'm using it in a police function most of the time, so I'm not overly concerned about giving my position away necessarily, but I've never run this suppressed, just with the comp on there. And as far as compensation goes, works really well. It's a very flat shooting gun, and I like it. Other than it kind of sucks to shoot next to for some guys, but I like the Mod Zero. It's good compromise for a comp. So sights, I have Troy Industries HK style flip-ups. They're my preferred backup sight, and these I've actually used quite a bit without the optic, and they work quite well. Even if they're going to be your main solution, they're good sights, so quite good. On the back end over here, I have a Surefire Scout. It's a good light for a period of time. I did run an Inforce on here. I do not like those lights that much. I've had a lot of flicker issues with them, but Surefire Scout's been great. That's mounted on a Haley Incog offset thorntail mount. Show you a close-up later. It's been pretty good. This is a Steiner D-Ball A3. Again, quite like it. Haven't used it a whole lot, mostly just to zero, and then I worked night shift for a long time, so it rode on my gun. And when I turned it on, I would run dual laser and IR loom, but I don't like pressure switches, had them fail on me a lot of the time, so I just use the push button on there. Pretty simple. So this is an older Recce, so it's the kmr Alpha. It's got BCM's kmr rail on here. Really like it. It's slim, it's lightweight, easy to attach things. Also have the BCM CAG on here, which is my favorite grip for forends. Really lets you get a good purchase on everything. My finger rests where I can actuate the light or come up top pretty easily. And then I have these BCM rail covers on here too. Nice feature. Really like the rail. It's lightweight, easy to mount accessories. So no complaints there. Haven't had any shift in zero with the D-ball, and I haven't noticed it come loose or anything. And again, it's been on there for years. Done a lot of shooting through vehicles and rolling around on the ground and all kinds of shit like that, and it's been fine. This rifle rode around a rifle rack in a car for years too, and it held up well. So no complaints there. Up top, I've had a Sig Romeo, Romeo 5, Romeo 4, I don't know. One of the original Romeos they come out with. This has been on here for, I don't know, 8 years since I got it. That's what my PD used at the time, so I threw one of those on here. And surprisingly, for the little money I paid for it, it's run very well. I have no complaints about the optic. Never had a shift in zero. Battery life's still pretty good, and it just runs. It's been smacked around quite a bit, and it's pretty decent. For the money, it's a good optic. I already covered the sights I have on here. As far as features on this gun, one thing, this comes with the newest generation of the BCM charging handles. It's okay. I do like it. It's got a smaller latch. I prefer the original BCM Gunfighter charging handles. I have one on an old Smith & Wesson. I just thought that it was a little better feeling charging handle. Hard to explain, but this one's a good balance. I mean, you can run it pretty easily, and it also doesn't get caught in your gear. It's small enough where it stays pretty tight to things. If you've ever used the extended charging handles, you know sometimes they catch on shit. But this one's pretty good. I've had no issues with it. Also, all BCMs, I believe it's a nitrided bolt. All the barrels are chrome lined. Bolt carrier group, never had to replace anything. Runs great. Everything's staked well. And like I said, the gun just runs. It's a 1 in 7 twist, I'm pretty sure. Shoots 62 grain fine, shoots 55 grain fine, shoots 77 grain fine. I've had no issues with the barrel. Like I said, I have about 12,000 rounds through it. The rifling's still all good, crown's still in good shape, and there's no sign of any keyholing or anything like that. Rifle's still holding up pretty well. So, now the magwells. The magwells on these BCMs are a little bit tight. If you're running a fully topped off PMag, or some of the thicker magazines, sometimes you might have to really give it a tap tug and make sure it's in there, or push a little good to insert on a clueless bolt. The tolerances on the magwell are just a little tighter than they are on some of your cheaper guns. Kind of is what it is. Hasn't been a big issue. Like I said, you just get used to it. I do really like these BCM pistol grips with no finger grooves and the straight grip. It's very comfortable. It's a more neutral angle, so your hand sits like this instead of like that. And I do like that. Makes actuating the safety selector pretty easy. And no complaints there. This is the ALG Defense trigger that comes stock with the Recce's. Very good, crisp trigger. It's not like a Geisley, but it's like a very smooth military trigger on there. So again, no complaints there. Haven't replaced it. Have no plans to replace it. Runs very well. Reset's pretty short. It's tactile. And this is just a smooth shooting gun. Mid-length gas system. Don't know if I said that. Believe there's an H buffer in here. I do not remember what weight. I guess I could just look. I think it's an H1. It is. So that also helps gun shoot nice and smooth. The stock on here is the BCM stock, their version of kind of the SOP mod stock. And very comfortable stock, easy to adjust. Pain in the ass to get on and off. If you want to take it on and off, I haven't. It's just stayed on there. I have heard these pinch beard hair. I haven't shot it since I've had my beard. I have several other rifles that I use more frequently than this these days. So this one has just been lying around the house. I do need to take it out and kind of see how that goes. But be aware, I've heard these stocks pinch beard hair. I don't know. It's been good for me all the years I've had it. Again, as you'd expect from BCM, properly staked castle nut, gas keys staked, everything that you would look for in a high quality rifle. This is it, man. I've just been running Viking Tactics padded sling, and that's on here with just BCM QD sling mounts. So pretty simple. It's a good gun, guys. I've got thousands of rounds through it. Probably gonna have thousands more. When this one wears out, I will probably just get another one. And I don't know when that's gonna be because there's no signs of it happening again. Pretty uninteresting. I mean, it's a good AR. This was my first foray into the BCM world. I bought another one after this. They just run. They just run. That said, if you're not training all the time and you're not shooting a lot, you know, at the height of my training, I was shooting thousands of rounds a year, taking maybe 5 courses a year. You're going to blow through a cheap rifle quickly when you're putting those kind of rounds through things. You'll start to see barrels wear. You'll start to see crowns get damaged. You'll start to see O-rings go. These things are machines, guys. You're going to need to replace parts just like a car. It is what it is. If you're going to shoot a lot, it's worth paying the couple hundred extra for a BCM, in my opinion. They're good rifles. They hold up. It's nothing fancy. It's an improved military rifle. For me, this is as fancy as I'll go with an AR. It does everything I need it to do. It's very comfortable. I like the slim handguards. Allows you to get that nice purchase on the gun, a good C grip. It's modern enough for me where I can put what I need on it, and it's simple enough to still be a good duty gun. This, I've shot some Daniel Defense rifles. I prefer how these feel from the factory. I think they do a better job with the accessories and stuff. That said, it's personal preference. I know a lot of guys prefer the Daniel Defenses. They're good guns too. For the money, you know, $1,300-$1,400, whatever these are, I think they're worth it. If you're just a normal person that's looking to get their first AR, and you're planning on only shooting a couple thousand rounds a year, maybe, there's plenty of stuff that's cheaper that is probably going to suit you fine. I'd say you don't need to run out and buy a BCM or something fancy. If you want to, by all means, knock yourself out. But I don't know, guys. ARs are ARs. I know people argue about materials and different things. I have expensive ones. I have cheap ones. And, you know, my Smith & Wesson lasted me about 12,000 rounds before I blew the barrel out and some of the O-rings. I sent it back to Smith & Wesson. They gave me a completely new upper under warranty. So that rifle was $500. And you can say, oh, well, that barrel's going to only last 12,000 rounds or whatever. Okay, but if they send me a new upper every time I blow it out, I'm really not that concerned. So, to each his own. If you want to spend the money on a BCM, go ahead. Like I said, if you're going to shoot all the time, it's worth it. But realistically, I'd rather have a $500 rifle and thousands of rounds of ammunition to practice. But if, you know, shooting is part of your job and you're going to take it seriously and train quite a bit, then I'd say, yeah, spring a little extra for the BCM. It's worth it. The parts will last you a little bit longer, and go from there. Even if you get a cheaper rifle, throw a BCM bolt carrier group in your gun, you'll probably be good to go. But so far, I've been really happy with BCM, and that's just kind of a quick down and dirty. It's a good rifle, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Sorry, this isn't more of a fantastical review, but there's not much to say. It friggin' works. Works all the time. Never had any issues with it that weren't shooter induced. I mostly use Lancer magazines. Shoot a little bit of everything for ammunition. Shoot steel case fine. I don't know. It's an AR. They're not that interesting. But if this is your thing, they're good guns. Check them out. Thanks.